You're listening to The Great Game, a Hunter the Reckoning actual play by Holliday Studios. After a successful heist requiring the utmost finesse and some dress-up, Sloan and I escaped with no one the wiser and rendezvoused with Snake and Echo, who successfully acquired the Book of the Tyrant, along with Aylin, who was waiting in a nearby cafe. Aylin, with Sloan in tow, teleported to Italy to inquire about Houdini and Angelo. Unbeknownst to Echo and myself, they ran afoul of their magical traps before meeting the two men and sharing information. Aylin also had a chance to reconnect with her enemy-turned-lover while Angelo and Sloan waited. Meanwhile, Echo and I had a meeting with a New York smuggler and successfully acquired a monster-hunting arsenal of weapons and special ammunition, with Echo sending out a telegraph to her former compatriots. After the gang reconvened, we took a train headed to the west coast. However, en route, we confronted Aylin about her ghosts, only to discover that she is slowly dying because of their connection. In addition, we discovered that Aylin's perfume bears some connection to her condition, and while investigating, we provoke the wrath of the Patron, a strange being from Baylan's past. Luckily, Lyra and myself were able to abjure the Patron from this realm, though only temporarily. Hi, my name is Freyja. I'll be playing Verita Vale, aka Raven the Marshal.
Hi, I'm Bloodied Porcelain. I'll be playing Sloan Holliday, the Inquisitive.
Hi, I'm Termite, and I'll be playing Echo, the Underground.
And I'm Overthinker. I will be your game master for the evening. Human history in California began when indigenous Americans first arrived some 13,000 years ago. Coastal exploration by the Spanish began in the 16th century, with further European settlements along the coast and the inland valleys following the 18th century. California was part of New Spain until that kingdom dissolved in 1821, becoming part of Mexico. During the Mexican-American War, between 1846 and 1848, California was ceded to the United States under the terms of the 1848 Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. The same year, the California Gold Rush began, triggering intensified U.S. Western expansion. California joined the Union as a free state via the Compromise of 1850. By the end of the 19th century, California was still largely rural and agricultural, with a population of about 1.4 million. When last we left you, players, you had confronted a sudden specter in your train car. Raven and Lyra managed to push the creature out of alignment with your reality and back where it came from. Since that revelation, there has been a flurry of activity, securing the train as best you can, ensuring that no further incidents have occurred or are occurring. During that time, Aylin took what books and resources she has available, went to her sleeping car, and locked the door. She is in a deep mode of research that I believe at this point everyone is familiar with. You could try to talk to her. It is a losing coin flip as to whether she will respond. Reconvening in, I believe it was the dining car that all of this happened. Or your lounge car?
We were in the lounge. Well, we were in like the section of the car because I like rented out the whole thing. And we were in the section of the car where like a table was where we could eat.
For sure. The lounge of your car.
Mm-hmm.
You've reconvened and can actually... Let's do a search. Let me get a couple rolls of wits and awareness or wits and investigation.
I am better at that.
Do I get my
Oh wait, no, I'm not.
Yes, you may get your
desperation?
Your bonus dice. Yes.
Cool.
Eight successes. That's a critical.
8 successes. All right. Raven, with your 4, you move through as much of the train as is available to you, front to back. You have some sense of what you're looking for in terms of like a threat, a problem, potentially a spy. Your evaluation of the other occupants elsewhere on the train and systems in place. Nothing jumps out to you as immediately dangerous. If there was some other supernatural here who had a part in what just occurred, they are lying low below your ability to detect them. Sloan, with 8 successes, it occurs to you, given what you saw the other day in a certain bar, that a clever enough supernatural can get into places that no human can or would. So after you've completed your initial sweep and made sure Aylin is okay-ish, you go and start looking places that no one else would. And it's in this process that you find a loose panel in the ceiling of the car, and shoving it aside, I'd like you to roll, let's say, Dex and Athletics.
Great. Fantastic. From 10 dice to 3. That's one success. It's not a complete botch.
Cool. You are not injured as you stumble backwards. Raven and Echo, you see a piece of the roof of the car, once pushed, sort of give, and Sloan's Snake Delaney falls on top of you.
He falls on top of her, and she's, as far as I'm aware,
to the ground, both of you.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, she's just a person, so she didn't get a chance to see who this was before he fell on her. So by the time the movement stops, one of her guns is at his temple, and her eyes are a little wide.
Hey.
Hi. We got to stop meeting like this.
Yeah, for sure.
One day he might realize it's a bad idea to break into the place that multiple heavily armed women are staying.
I don't think that day will ever come soon enough.
You want to tell
he
me?
glances down at the amount of physical contact between your bodies and says, yeah, this is awful.
She doesn't respond to that. She keeps the gun there, and he just hears the click as she pulls the hammer back.
Okay.
You want to tell me why you're here?
Yeah.
After you told us you weren't coming?
I mean, oh, shit. He hops up, grabs the piece of the roof, and starts trying to put it back.
Reasonably smart. I'm pretty sure I know what he's trying to do, and I will reach up and help him.
You guys get the piece in? Well, so... I mean, it's kind of okay. So she went and talked to some people, and they were like, we're not going to really talk about the Poxers anymore. They're like done with it. Like, we got them out of the city. They're not our problem. They're gone. But I guess she's not done with them. And it seems like you're not either.
No.
So we were like, let's get on the train. And I was like, but I said no. And she was like, let's get on anyway. And I was like, okay. So, surprise.
You could have just knocked. Now there's a hole in the roof of the car that I rented that I'm going to have to explain and potentially pay to fix.
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, she was saying something not unlike that, right as the sun was coming up. And I was like, don't worry about it. I'll figure it all out.
Let me guess.
And to be fair, I did.
Where is she exactly?
Looks back at the ceiling.
In the crawl space.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, because we thought you might come along, we had a space prepared for someone with her condition.
Oh shit.
She will turn to the others. Let's cover the windows, please. And basically we're gonna go and like cover all of the windows with like the heavy curtains that they have like by default anyway, and go to the one like sleeper like bunk thing that I told them when they rented it to make sure that it was pretty light tight, and make sure everything is covered up. And then I will turn and very politely ask Raven if she would be kind enough to help us move the unconscious body, because I'm not strong enough. I won't use those words, but it's clear that that's why I'm asking her.
Raven would be glad to assist. It's not the first time she's had to move someone that was unconscious.
Truth.
Not the first time she's had to move effectively a dead body.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't be the last.
Nope.
Or not even effectively, just a dead body.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Are we tossing it off the train?
No, we are putting it in the sleeper bunk that I had you guys prepare because we thought we might have a vampire with us.
Yep, no worries. I'm just being a smartass.
Yeah. Raven, could you roll charisma plus performance, please?
Oh no. That's a 1.
One success. Cool. So you lift and pull what very much feels like a dead body wrapped in a tarp. Pull it down and kind of glancing over everyone say, so off the train, and take a step towards the door. And Snake goes, no! Oh, you were kidding. Oh, you were kidding. God damn my heart. Oh, you were kidding. Okay.
You might be the most gullible man I've ever met.
You know what? I deserve that. I deserve that. That's fair. That's, But no, not off the train. That would be
I will go and unlock the
All
little.
kinds of bad.
I will go and unlock the little sleeper area, which technically has 2 bunks. There's enough space for 2 because I assume Snake would want to be in the same space.
Yeah, probably.
But the point is, it is light tight, so she will be safe.
So, Echo, you heard a bunch of yelling earlier. What was that all about?
And a gunshot, I would presume.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure.
That's not ideal. I mean, it got kind of cold in here.
We had a visitor from the underworld, I believe.
Drew signs. It was fucked up.
Is that what that thing was?
I will speak the sign out loud.
At this point, convening around the table, Lyra pours whoever wants it some
Whiskey.
At this point,
really
probably
nice,
gin.
strong whiskey.
Okay, you've got whiskey. But I think the car was mostly stocked with gin.
That's fair.
Tis the
Gin
booze
is
of the
fine
day.
with me.
So, yeah, what did we just do looking over at Raven?
Forced a entity that should not be here back to where they were from.
Oh, is that
However-
all that happened? That sounds all right. Go team.
Well,
Well, the problem is how it got here. And I will glance at Raven and Echo. We're going to have to take the perfume bottle from her and figure out how to banish it.
Are we sure that's a good idea? It seemed like that thing started doing whatever it was doing the moment that somebody else had it.
My theory is that thing is how it got here. Like it's an anchor.
An anchor to what? Drusilla signs.
She'll shrug. Wherever the perfume bottle is, or whoever has it.
I'm more concerned about what it wants with Aylin.
I have some theories, but that's not a story for me to tell. What I've pieced together over the years. But long and short of it, my guess is it doesn't want to give up control. It's what most beings, and frankly humans like that, are alike. They feel like they are entitled to a person or thing, and they will do everything they can to exercise their control over that person or thing. So far, she's never tried to give it up, so it's never been a problem. She had that thing when we were together, and in the years we were together, she never let me touch it. I always had a bad feeling about it, but I couldn't tell her otherwise, so...
Lyra leans over to Raven and just says, till we exorcised him.
But when I accidentally got a face full of that stuff, I saw the underworld. And things in the underworld saw me. And then it showed up here. But what little I have put together, which isn't much, given my on-again, off-again relationship with all things dead and creepy, yeah, she'll look over at Snake, no offense.
None taken.
It seems like the dead can only come and go from our world if there's something for them to come back to. I think I might be the anchor for my father to show up here. I think. I'm not sure. But every time he's shown up here, as far as I'm aware, he's shown up where I am. And anytime I have ended up there, with the exception of the one time I got sprayed in the face, I was where he was. So that's my theory.
I'm sorry, roll it back a second. Echo. Is she talking about like heaven and hell?
I don't think so.
I mean, like when we die, right? We go points up, or more likely.
My understanding is that there's just the one endless hellscape.
As far as I'm aware, I've never seen a heaven or a hell, at least nothing that is familiar based on the writings, and I have read a great many on what hell is like.
Right, but you're here with us, so
yes.
You wouldn't,
well, except
right?
for that one time that she died.
But I've been to the underworld twice. Well, I've been there and seen into it. Been there once, seen into it once.
I'm just saying, we don't know. It's like maybe you've only seen the one.
Well, speaking from experience, more like an in-between. There are final destinations, but that space was something else.
Drew
At
puts
least
a hand on
we
your
were there
shoulder.
together.
Yeah.
How much do you know about what you are? And she'll look over at Raven.
Not everything. A lot is sealed, or was, and comes in flashes.
What I know.
I've learned.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Most of what I've learned, I've recovered over the years that we've been apart.
What I picked up from us talking to my father is that the underworld is one big place and there are places within it. That seemed to be the implication, because he was talking about some place named Stygia, I think it was, which in Greek myth is a part of the underworld, but that certainly wasn't like anything I'd ever read about in any of the texts, so.
I can't speak for all of the places, but at least I have been in one of them. Odin's Hall, you would say?
Lyra nods.
Also known as Valhalla, if you're aware of that.
Yeah, I remember.
Although Lyra looks over at you, Raven. I didn't get the sense he came from our neck of the woods.
Not at all. I don't know where he's from.
Not enough furs, no axes at all.
somewhat polite as well.
There was sort of a horrible gentlemanliness, wasn't there?
Very otherworldly, though.
I can't be sure, but I'm reasonably certain that when I shot him, my bullet went with him and may have hit him on the other side. So,
does that mean Lyra actually gets up, crosses the car, and starts looking for a bullet hole in the wall? It'd be like if your shot had gone through, it would have ended up over here.
Is there a bullet hole?
Quickly signed. There is not.
Mm-hmm.
And Drusilla signs after a moment. Does that mean shooting it in the head didn't kill it?
Well, it kept talking after it impacted, so.
Oh, so shooting it in the head didn't bother it.
At least not on this side. Not enough to stop it.
You say that like shooting things in the head often deals with things in our line of work.
Duh. Name one creature shot in head doesn't do something.
Andra.
She gives
Werewolf.
She
Vampire.
gives Sloan a sour look and points at Echo. Werewolf hates silver. Silver bullet puts a gun motion to her head.
Sure, but that's
Sure,
the
but
silver,
that's
not
not
the
shooting
bullet.
it, that's the silver.
Well, fine. Cut hairs. Snake's like, I mean, vampires don't like getting shot in the head. It's way more annoying than like chest or limbs. Because like you got eyes up here and stuff and a mouth. And if you get, I mean, they're really specific about their fangs. I don't know if you know this. Vampire gets hit in the mouth, it's like an insult. Or
I've picked
so
up
she
on
keeps
that.
telling me. Yeah.
Sloan kind of shifts slightly uncomfortably in her chair when she says, I've picked up on that.
Mm-hmm. You're referring to your mentor's reputation?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have an intelligence.
My mentor, my father.
Your father's reputation. Let me get a roll from Echo and Raven to see if you've heard this about the late Doc Holliday.
I hadn't heard it
Actually-
until I went through all of those letters.
You had, because you heard the letters. That he was known as the dentist because he removed vampires' fangs before killing them.
What are we rolling?
Don't worry about it. It was in a note last session. I couldn't remember when I dropped that lore, so I was like...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically speaking, I don't think we actually talked about it last session. It was just in the notes because there was the stuff that Sloan had gone through.
Mm-hmm. So, whatever it was, Vera's back at the table. Focused on her through the... It's not coming back. Right?
I would imagine not right away. But at some point, we're going to have to deal with it. Unless we can... Sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, unless we can get rid of it, and that ends the problem of him being tethered here.
Why shouldn't we... Right, go on.
I don't believe that was actually his form either. It was an aspect.
Eyes are on you.
So we can't even trust what we saw was actually his true form either.
So
It's not
more
human.
scary?
I don't believe it was ever human.
It's certainly possible.
I mean, if it's from the underworld, the implication is that it would have to have been alive at some point.
Maybe. What makes you say that?
Because the underworld is where dead things go.
Right, what makes you say it wasn't... Raven, why do you think it wasn't a spirit?
Sorry.
Oh, no. It's just a feeling that I have in regards to the perfume. Something didn't seem right, at least spiritually. If it was a spirit and it was tethered to it, breaking it shouldn't pour it out into this realm. It kind of reminded me of the book and the Tyrant.
In that... Right, you said don't break it.
Breaking it would have been the worst possible situation. At least that's the vibe that I got from it.
Wow. Do we want to theorize how we'd go about killing it, or...
I might be able to get us more information once we get home.
Home it is, then. And unless people have other stuff on the train, we will move ahead a couple of days.
I'm good with that. Unless anybody else needs to talk about something.
Good with that too.
I got nothing.
Yeah. The next few days pass far less eventfully. Maggie's around in the evenings, just sort of hanging out, talking to Snake. She's free to chat with any of you guys a little bit, but makes it a point early on that she doesn't want to talk business on a place where you can very much be overheard by someone just coming in.
Okay.
She's like, I'll tell you some stuff when we get there. And a few, what do we say, 6 days later? Coming out of New York, I believe you have to make a transfer in California, or Chicago.
Yep.
Words. But then it's on and on and on until the train comes to its final stop. The doors open, and it's sounds of the sea and a bustling California town. Or, even by this point, moving towards a city. Welcome home.
I think at least for Echo and Raven, who have been around her a little bit more, like there is a moment when they step out into that kind of like dry California air that Sloan kind of like her shoulders drop a little bit. Well, welcome to San Francisco. This way. And once people have their bags and such, did we arrive during the day or at night?
Let's get a D10 roll.
Okay.
High being day, low being night.
It's a 6.
Cool. You have arrived maybe an hour before sundown.
Well, that makes it a little bit difficult with the vampire with us. I assume that in the intervening days we have found a way to transport her because we knew we would get here during the day.
Well, you have a tarp. You have a couple of steamer trunks. Snake's like, I'll handle it. You guys go on.
You wouldn't know
I'll
what to
stay
do.
here. I'll make some excuses. That is true. I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Seems like thinking far ahead is not your forte.
It's not.
I was going to ask if you went out this lady be mean to me the whole time, but apparently we're just jumping in.
Oh, please. This isn't mean.
And it's not like you don't like it either.
That's not the point.
I think it's meaner to call you on that because I wasn't going to say a word.
And I am questioning why I came along.
She'll kind of pat him on the shoulder. Don't worry, you'll settle in soon enough. I assume we would have talked to Maggie and explained we're gonna get there before sundown. We're gonna have to put you in the steamer trunk on the last night.
Yeah. She's like, hey, I've got people looking out for me during the day. That's weird that it turns out they're all humans.
Yeah, so we'll line the inside of the trunk with the tarp just to be like extra sure that it's light tight, and then we put her in there the night before. When we get there, we'll just rely on Snake and Raven to move it onto, I am assuming, some sort of I don't know, like a wagon or something that we had brought.
For sure, there can be a carriage.
Carriage, sure.
Given your amounts of money, there could even be a car.
That's true. We did talk about me potentially having fleet. We just didn't take it because I was just like, we're going to be going all over the world. I don't know how much it's going to help.
If you take the fleet quality, you will be able to acquire a car anywhere the technology exists.
Noted. That'll be something for next season. But she's probably got at least one car. And would have sent word from Chicago because we would have had a stopover. She'd have made sure that she sent a telegraph to the house or to get delivered to the house. That Emmett should meet us when the train comes in and should have the car.
Well then, tell us about Emmett as they wave you down. From the edge of a very busy crowd, a lot of people are on this train, and there is no organization for how they disembark.
Emmett is on the young side. He's in his late teens, very early 20s. He is a little bit thin, not quite skinny. It's more like his body just refuses to take on a ton of weight, so he's just kind of perpetually very svelte. His dark brown hair is slicked back, and he's got this very intense gaze. A little bit like Sloan, where you look at him and it's a little bit like he can look right through you.
Like we don't have enough intense gaze.
That's not what I meant, but he is also that, but y'all wouldn't know. And he's got this look on his face where he probably doesn't look happy about much of anything most of the time, but he looks simultaneously relieved and probably like somewhere between excited and furious to see Sloan just swagger off of this train in clothes that don't fit her right, because Sloan usually wears very tailored clothing, and this stuff has not been tailored for her.
Oh yeah, you still dressed like a lady?
Yes.
He for sure raises an eyebrow at that.
I know. Don't give me that look.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That would be the right answer.
What look would I give you after you... don't worry about it. Who are your retinue?
Well, this is Raven. This is Echo. Aylin is the quiet one back there, and she gives him a very pointed look, like not a fucking word, because I'm sure that he's heard at least one of the stories. And Drusilla, she prefers to be called Drew. Oh my god, I've forgotten Raven's sister's name. Lyra, Snake, and there's someone else you'll meet later.
He pulls out and takes a little sip off of a flask. Says, "Okay,
everyone, this is Emmett.
You can call me Saint Germain if we're all using fake names. Let's get in."
My real name is arguably less believable.
Hey, I was given a name and I'll keep using it until somebody tells me to do otherwise. But we're not going to pretend it's your real name.
It's what she goes by 99.99% of the time, so I would say it is arguably more real than the one that she gets on paper.
Why
don't you
are
think?
You bringing math into this?
She'll kind of smile a little bit. It's my livelihood.
If you're betting maybe your livelihood, but currying favor with the people who have been missing you for a couple of weeks may be a bigger priority right now.
She will walk over and pull him in and hug him very tight. I'm sorry I disappeared. I will explain as much as I can, but I need you to trust me that it was not by choice. And I got back as fast as I could.
He harumphs a little bit and then climbs into the driver's seat.
I will climb into the passenger seat. It is clear that I am used to sitting in the back seat because I get shepherded around.
Show of hands, first time in a car. Glances around.
Echo raised their hand.
I assume pretty much everybody.
That's the same.
Well, welcome to the future. And with a ka-chunk,
The last time I heard that wasn't particularly good.
Trust me.
Oh shit, was it 2 years in the future? Yeah.
Well, it certainly wasn't great.
Yeah.
Trust me, in this particular instance, I think you will find that it affords a great many comforts.
All right, and sounding like a slightly smaller train engine, you push up into the post-Gold Rush heights of downtown San Francisco. You're not far from the bay, which is currently just lousy with sailors and dealers and trade. A little further up, you're going to pass the birdcage and what is basically the gambling ring, its own little mini Las Vegas.
I will tap his shoulder when we're coming up on the birdcage. Just stop here for me.
Okay.
I'll be back in about 5 minutes. I'm just going to go in and get my winnings. And I would like to run in and grab the $1,000 or so that got left behind way
Done.
back in episode 1. Just come out with a big honking bag.
The place is exactly as you remember it from the front. There is currently a substantial reconstruction project happening way off on the left wing.
Gee, I wonder why.
Seems a chunk of the building went up in flames.
I will take the bag. I will leave a small tip for whoever received it for me. Just as a thank you. I know I'm coming in outside of normal working hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go back out to the car.
Cool. Echo, give me a wits and awareness real quick.
Oh, good. Well, 1.
Yeah. They handed out $1,000 real fast. How much cash do you have to have on hand to hand out that much that fast? There's something to think about.
While I'm inside, can I ask them if anybody is staying in room 409?
They don't typically give out.
I don't need to know who. I just want to know if there is somebody staying there. And I did just leave a fairly substantial tip.
Cool. Let's drop it down to $950 and give me a charisma persuasion.
Okay. I don't suppose I could make an argument for manipulation persuasion.
It seems like you're trying to be charming and not change someone's mind.
Do they think I'm pretty?
Yeah.
Okay. 6. Do I want to spend desperation dice? Oh, we are at danger 7, so probably not.
We're at danger 8.
8. I can count, I swear.
I intended to bring that danger down when you guys banish the spirit.
Oh, would you like me to do that now? You just need to tell me what I'm dropping it to.
Let's go to 6.
Okay. That's 4 successes. That's pretty good for just a Joe Schmo.
Yeah, 4 successes. That room does appear to be occupied.
Thank you. And I will leave. Head back out to the car. Hop in with this big ass bag of money. All right, let's get home.
One, white sack of indeterminate cloth with a big dollar sign on the front of it, spilling bills the whole way.
This is not a cartoon.
This is a cartoonish bag of money. It's not, but it's funny. Yeah, a few minutes later, why don't you go ahead and describe Sloan's house?
Sloan lives in a house that looks like someone plucked up like a big fancy Victorian from the East Coast and plopped it down here. It is the size of effectively a mansion for the time. It is all tall gables and oh my God, what do you call those rounded windows with the 3 windows that are all kind of semi-rounded? I don't know. Everybody's seen the traditional Victorian house. They all have those. And it's got a probably a wall that would come up to your shoulder all around it, like a stone or brick wall. With the wrought iron spikes on the top. Not to look imposing or weird. It's just that's the style.
A little bit Gothic.
Yeah. Very kind of Victorian Gothic-esque. It is when you pull into the driveway, which there's like a couple of separate buildings. There's one that is clearly meant for the car. It's like a garage. And then there is one kind of catty corner off in the back that you can see that looks like a small house. One could assume it is like a guest house or a groundskeeper's house or something like that. For reference for OT, that is Emmett's place. That's where he stays. There is enough space in this home for like easily like 10 people to live pretty comfortably. If not more, if you double up on bedrooms. But as far as you know, Sloan lives alone with maybe this guy on the grounds. It is painted in this kind of like dark sky blue. With like white shutters, and there are pretty immaculate gardens all around it, because this is back before California has become just completely bone dry almost most of the places. So there's really lovely gardens that somebody takes care of pretty fastidiously. And once the car cuts off, she'll go, "Welcome home. Mi casa es su casa," as they say.
Yeah, you guys can all head inside. Emma's going to unload your bags. Snake is going to hang back to make sure a certain bag is unloaded carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Please continue. And tell us who else we're going to meet. Also vamp for me. I will be right back.
Okay. You'll head inside. You're going to meet right off the bat a kind of slightly elderly, or at least very matronly older woman with kind of steel gray hair that still looks pretty soft. It hasn't gotten to the point where it's gotten really wiry. And blue eyes, and she's got an Irish accent that makes it sound like she may have just gotten off the boat recently, or left late enough in life that the accent has just sort of stuck with her. Sloan introduces her as Miss O'Leary. She is the housekeeper. She is not dressed like. She's not dressed like super like in all black and super buttoned up like an English housekeeper would be, but it's still pretty well put together. And there is a younger woman.
She gives your entire party a stern once over.
Don't worry, she's what's the word? She knows when not to run her mouth to people outside of what happens in my walls. And she'll kind of give her like an appreciative, almost affectionate smile as borderline threatening as the words sound. It's so clear that they've known each other for so long that Sloan doesn't genuinely think she ever has to worry about Miss O'Leary like going off and blabbing about anything that happens inside her home.
That really just feels like I'm back home.
It's entirely true. It's entirely true. If I was going to discipline you, it would not be with gossip.
Sloan's eyebrows go up a little bit. Well, and then a younger woman who's a little on the like the curvier, heavier side, but is very pretty. And is probably in her late 20s, early 30s. And has like dark brown hair and bright green eyes. And speaks with a very kind of like native West Coast accent. Gets introduced as the cook, and her name is Rosella.
She also gives your group a once over, but it's less of a who the heck are these people in my nice clean house, and more of a, oh god, I've got work to do.
They both get well, I should say Rosella gets a hug. Miss O'Leary gets a respectful nod because she's more buttoned up than Rosella.
Rosella's like, will everyone be staying for dinner? Supper? Breakfast?
Assume they will be here for the foreseeable future, as long as I'm here.
Understood.
And
I'm gonna... O'Leary looks over at her. List? Yeah, I'm gonna write a list. Good.
I will include an increase in the house expenses to cover whatever the difference is.
Actually, the difference is rather covered. Without you, things have been pretty cheap.
Well, all the same. And she'll kind of wave her hand. Our financial situation has resolved itself.
Emmett drops a heavy trunk. She says, yes, we've become frugal in your absence.
Well, that was for the best. I didn't know how long it was going to take for things to resolve themselves, but they have. So we can all go back to our normal habits in that arena.
Echo and Raven, you were in a grand house to which you have been given full permission so far, invited to stay for the foreseeable future. How long has it been since you were in this kind of comfort, and how are you feeling about it now?
See, how long has it been? It's been nearly 3 years.
Yeah, it's been the same for Raven.
Yeah, there wasn't even a lot of this. I mean, you slept in a rail yard before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever been in this level of luxury?
Not since she visited her parents.
For Raven,
And
never.
even then.
Yeah. Yeah, Echo. This is weirdly nostalgic. Nostalgic for a part of your life you didn't enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be...
Echo's not feeling the greatest about the situation.
Elaborate.
It's kind of just, you know, you try to bury old memories, and then sometimes things happen, and that turns out they didn't bury them deep enough, and now she's just kind of... She's not upset. She certainly doesn't look happy. Would it be all right if I go and spend some time outside?
I'll take all the time you need. Gardens are lovely this time of year.
I'm sure they are.
I wouldn't go wandering around town. This is where and she'll kind of make a general gesture out towards where y'all would have seen the coast. As in this is where I nearly died, this town, so please don't wander too far.
Don't plan on wandering far, just think I need some time.
I understand. Is there a preference for what sort of room you want? Is there a particular side of the house you prefer? East facing, west facing?
Toward the water?
West facing. Understood. Enjoy your walk. And I will gesture to Mrs. O'Leary and then to Raven and the others. Mrs. O'Leary will help you find rooms. Please choose whichever one makes you comfortable, as long as it's not mine.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Of course. And I will turn to Emmett. Emmett, darling, would you do me a favor?
Probably.
Would you go and make Bella and Garnet aware of my return? Let Bella know that at her first convenience, I would appreciate a appointment. I need to replace my favorite outfit.
Looks you up and down again. I thought you might say that.
In the meantime, I'm going to go change out of this. She will go to do that while he goes off to do the thing.
Oh, but it's so fetching.
As I have been told. She will give him a look. Like,
you look just like you're out of a magazine. For girls who don't ride horses.
Speaking of, how's mine?
Inconsolable. And he sweeps out the door.
Well, that's code for he got bit at least 3 times this week. She will make her way upstairs.
Okay. A little while later, you guys have set up. First of all, Echo. What is your walk on the lawn? You just trying to get your head on straight, or is there something specific you were thinking on?
Probably just trying to get the head on straight right now. She does need to go to the telegram office at some point, though.
Okay.
See if she got a response or not. If there's a message left for her.
Okay. Remind me, how old was Echo when she left home?
17.
So there's a part of you now, as an experienced woman, grown in the world, more aware of its dangers than most even, that remembers being 17 and going, I'm not going to put up with this, and just leaving. You still think that was the right call?
Well, it wasn't entirely her choice.
Sure.
Do
Do you wish you'd gone back, tried to plead your case?
No.
Why not?
Especially not after the last encounter with her parents. She's seen enough from people to know that at this point they're not going to change. So she's not really anything waiting for her if she were to try and go back.
Mm-hmm.
She'd just end up being forced back into a box, as it were.
Would have been a box that looked like this, though.
Yeah. But a box that she'd be more or less alone in. She's got people that she cares about now. And the hell, that would never have happened.
Yeah. And hey, you get to be yourself and end up in a nice house.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. I would like you to make me a roll real quick. It's not dangerous, but it could be funny. Just roll your willpower.
Not good. One
success. Something about your time with Elminor, like a smell or a feeling. You feel it again, or you smell it again. Like there's something here. Thinking about your past and your parents and your childhood home. You can ignore it if you want. Or you can go towards it a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna go towards it. I'm gonna make a bad decision.
Okay.
I'm gonna go and wander off.
Damn it,
as
Aylin
you're
not being here
wandering-
should mean that this doesn't happen.
You wander through the garden, and you get this feeling, and you take a little turn to your right and walk through this archway done up in vines. And you see across the fence, sort of standing on your toes, some kind of party. People are talking and playing music and drinking. And everyone looks pretty drunk. It's getting lush over there. And just as you're like, I guess, what do you want to do?
I think she just kind of ducks back behind the fence and sits down with her back against it.
Right.
And, yeah.
Yeah, just as you go to sit down, you catch a glimpse.
He's fine.
Over the top of this fence, two of the figures drinking and laughing are your parents.
And then just gonna kind of sit there for a while.
Yeah. You hear the music. You hear chatter. Eventually it starts to fade out. But yeah, that looked a lot like them. That looked a lot like your folks.
Yeah, I think Echo's going to be sitting there until somebody comes to get her.
Cool. Raven.
Yes.
I think you and Lyra and Drew can have your own rooms, or there's probably the top attic area. Drusilla's asked for it for sure. She's like, I want to be at the top of the house with the best sight lines.
The attic.
We would probably. Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
was going to say the attic in houses like this is usually split up into rooms anyway, because that's usually where servants would stay. But there would be enough room for other people because she only has the two.
For sure. Drusilla wants an attic room.
We would hold up in the attic.
Staying in the servants' quarters, great.
I mean, it's kind of nothing new for them.
Yeah. Lyra drops a duffel bag and it's just like, yeah, too much comfort would have been strange.
It's a little upsetting, or at least unnerving.
You get past 1,000 feathers in a mattress and I just can't. Feels wrong. Now this pushes on the, barely pillows. This is perfect. Right? Are we good here?
I think so, yes. I'm going to go out for a walk. Get some fresh air.
Drew pauses you for a sec and quickly signs. Are we safe here?
Safer than other places, yes.
And you... Look, we have to have the talk real quick. We've only known this Sloan a little while, and you've been around her the most. Can we trust her?
I believe so. Even though she's connected to Aylin, and Aylin is not the best judge of character, I believe Sloan is better for us in that regard. Trustworthy.
Sure, she's a little more stable, but stable doesn't mean she's on our side. Lots of unstable people tried to kill us. Lots of stable people who wanted to kill us too. Forget it.
No, I understand. It's just... I don't know. It's after the event in the tower, or the skyscraper, that building. I can't remember the name of it.
The insurance place?
Yes, the insurance place. Thank you. She played her part well and did not put anyone in jeopardy. And through everything that we've had since then and prior, she has been very trusting of us. She gave us a small fortune, essentially, and we could have ran. She trusted us enough to do that.
Lyra nods. Drew remains skeptical, but you imagine hell will freeze over before she stops being skeptical of everything. All right. Revolver's at the side of the bed, not under the pillow, then.
Probably for the best.
Right. I'm going to start sorting that ammunition you all bought. Enjoy your walk.
Thank you. Be careful, some of it is explosive.
I know. I'm well aware. You don't have to look after me.
I know it's only been a couple of years, but still, wounds are still fresh.
Right, but remember the part where I didn't get blown up. And I'm actually fine. Having some really good sex with a werewolf. Remember that part about me?
I'm going to go ahead and
remember
head
that
out.
part about me having really good sex with a werewolf?
Goodbye!
Lady, do you remember that part? And you
He
head out.
will hurry out the door.
Sloan,
Yes,
you are home.
I am. I am getting out of these fucking clothes and into one of my own outfits.
Yeah. And you called your tailor and...
My seamstress and my garnet. I don't really have I don't have a title for her.
Your dealer?
The dealer's daughter.
Yeah, that's a dealer.
She is who makes sure that I don't overdo it and then I make it home.
Well, easy to make it home if you just crashed out in your own bed.
Well, I'm not. The point is, Sloan goes to the opium den, which Garnet's father owns, and Garnet probably takes a little bit of a risk by making sure that Sloan always gets enough to get her fix and then gets home safely, rather than letting her just stay in the den, which is how they tend to ruin lives. Is they keep people there because they're so out of it they can't leave.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep spending. And Garnet makes sure that doesn't happen. And sometimes things happen.
Yeah. Not usually during, mostly before.
Or after, if I'm not crazy blitzed.
All right. Outfit reacquired. Are you going there to get high, pick up a supply, or hook up?
I am waiting to hear back from Emmett so that I know when the appointment with Bella is going to be. Bella does run a shop, so my assumption is that she's not going to be able to get me any immediately. But
well,
as one
about
of
sundown by now, so
that's fair. Well, in that case, I would like to stop off at the. I will go out. I'm going to stop off at the telegraph station, which is a block away from my house, I think is what we agreed on. And
very close, yeah.
And send a message south to the herb farm or to the town nearby to be delivered to the herbs. Basically letting them know that I'm home, just in case Uncle Wyatt is there, because I don't know where the fuck he is. I don't know what happened to him after I almost died. And then and then she will head to her to the opium den to go spend a couple of hours, because it's been 5 days and her last fix was not a full-on fix.
The office has several messages.
Oh, for me?
I suppose they would all be addressed to the specific person. So you can't pick up a message for the households if no one knows who's staying in your household.
That's fair. I will take the messages then.
Yeah.
What do they say?
One is addressed to Drusilla.
Okay, I won't read that one.
One is addressed to Echo. Does your crew use the name Echo, or do you have some kind of alias for this sort of communication?
No, they use Echo.
There you go. One addressed to Echo. And No, I actually don't think there was one addressed to you at this point, because everyone who would have messaged Sloan knows that you're coming back here.
Except Uncle Wyatt, because I didn't know where to tell him. The only word I ever managed to get out, and I didn't even know if it would make it to him, was I sent to the herb farm, which is in Southern California, just word that I was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So And
In that case,
that was like a week ago.
you've received the 2 messages for your new house guests.
Mm-hmm.
And as you are leaving, making a wits and awareness check.
Okay. 6 dice. I'm gonna reroll failures. 3.
3 successes is just barely enough to not, like, be visibly startled when there's a click right next to you as you step out the door. Because your instinct is, I'm about to get shot, go into fight mode. But something about the smell and the silhouette you glance out of the corner of your eye stays your hand and stills your heart as you realize that the only person in this area who you know would pull something like this is your uncle messing with you.
I go really, really still for a minute and then kind of turn. And when I'm I look up and I realize for sure that it is him, he gets like the biggest hug.
Well, hey there, cowpoke. Oh, yeah. Come here.
Well, we have a lot to talk about.
Goddamn, girl. You look exactly the same as when I saw you last. Different suit, but...
Well,
I'll be your monkey's uncle. It's good to see you.
it would seem that a near-death experience did me some good. Suits me.
Mm. Yeah, and how many you had since then?
Several.
Yep. Let's head inside.
Well, we are at the
house.
right.
Let's head inside the house.
I will lead him back towards the house. I have guests. They are aware of everything that has gone on for the most part.
Aware or participatory?
Both.
I see.
Oh, I should correct the record. Several near death, 1 actual death.
What? You lost somebody?
No. Well, I mean, myself, briefly, but there were divine apples involved. I got better.
He glances around and he said, I didn't say we should talk inside because I didn't want to talk. I'm gonna...
Sorry, out of character, I assumed that we were, like, in the house when I said that.
At this point, you're crossing into the gate.
Okay.
So you, okay, discretion. Something you should, glad you're alright. Glad you're back.
I'm glad you're alright. Last I saw you, there was fire and you were surrounded by a bunch of, I don't know, hellhounds?
Again, sort of glances around. Talking very openly about all this.
It's my home, Uncle Wyatt.
Yeah. I just, got a bad feeling, that's all.
About?
Still working on that part, but I learned to trust my gut. At a certain point,
Is this an OK Corral bad feeling?
Not far from it.
Understood. I will open the front door, let him in, inwardly wincing a little bit that I don't get to I don't get to go to the opium den yet. I have to wait longer.
Yep.
That's all right.
Interrupted yet again.
I will pull out my flask and take a long drink as we walk inside.
Cool. Raven and Echo. You bump into each other. Well, Raven, you find Echo in the garden. And now it's you two's turn to vamp.
Do I see the party?
No.
Okay. Echo, how are you okay?
I've certainly been better.
You kind of look like you saw a ghost. You didn't, did you?
And I don't think so. Can you tell me what's on the other side of this fence?
The rest of the garden. Are you thinking it's something else?
I must just been seeing things then.
Are you coming down with something?
I certainly hope not. Yeah, I would not exactly going to be able to tell myself. It's been a long day. I'm getting used to a lot of things that I thought I would rid of.
It's been a long few years for me, at least. At least the rooms are nice. We're holed up in the attic. It's honestly, to be truthful, it's a little bit too nice for us.
Well, that's certainly one thing we can agree on. Don't exactly have the best of experiences with places like this.
It's that experience, though bad, did leave it led you to us. You know, family isn't always blood. I've learned that very well through my time.
Yeah, but that doesn't particularly help when I could have sworn I saw him having a party over on the other side of this fence. I don't know if it was people that were just over there, if I was just seeing things, or what. Probably ask Sloan about what's over there.
It might put your mind at ease if we go over there. At the very least, to dispel the thoughts that they were here.
I'm not certain that's a good idea. I think it would be best if we learned what's supposed to be over there first. If there's anything over there. Because if there's not, then us going over there is definitely not a good idea. Probably just something trying to I guess to a place we don't want to go.
Well, how about I go over there and then come back?
That's a worse idea than us going over there together.
Well, we could just sit here then. It's a nice day out.
At this point, It's early evening. Like, it's getting dark.
We'll see the stars soon.
Let's just hope that nobody panics if they don't find us inside.
I don't think anyone will be panicking, at least here.
And
They seem to have to. Oh.
What you were saying?
The older woman, I forget her name now, but seems to run a very tight ship. So, and I did inform them that I'd be going on a walk. You did as well.
Suppose. More that. Suppose as long as they come looking for us before they panic, we'll be alright.
I think we'll be alright. For a little while, at least.
Question for Echo.
Mm-hmm.
If what's on the other side of that wall is not natural, you're just letting this one go unchallenged?
I hate everything about. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. You know what? Don't think either of us should have. There's the reason I didn't go alone. But I also suppose we shouldn't let whatever's happening happen.
Well, you trust me, right?
Very complicated question, Raven. But yes.
You trust me to protect you, at least.
Yeah.
Then we got this. We can go together.
All right.
Okay. If you guys want to go over, give me Dex plus Athletics. And let me know any preparations you make before you do.
Preparations. Uh-oh.
Echo. So we're in like a garden, right?
Yep.
Echo's gonna take some thread and tie it around something. Probably like around. Should we just like? But yeah, she's gonna find something and tie some thread around it, and then let that thread out as we go.
Raven's going to ask Lucian to essentially stand guard, and if they're not back within 3 hours, to get the others.
Lucian regards you, then nods.
I think we're good.
Dex and Athletics 5 and 5. The two of you brace for battle. Breathe deep. Step forward. Haul yourselves up over this wall and into the unknown. And land on what appears to be a small delivery road. Like an alleyway between this house and the next. This was not here when you looked over the fence. Nor was the fence opposite you that leads into the back of someone else's property.
Well, don't particularly like this. But should probably keep going.
All right. You hop up on the opposite fence, and you can see into a much less decorous yard. Well maintained, but not sort of not quite as much effort as Sloan's place. There are no tables, no couches, no musicians, or drinks, or guests. It's empty in the fading light.
Huh. What's this?
You okay?
I don't feel like there's something wrong here. Can I look over behind us?
Sure.
What do I see?
You see an alleyway where deliveries would be made to the back of these houses, and the dividing wall that leads into, from up on this wall, you can see a decent bit of Sloan's garden.
Huh.
It's dark at this point, or getting dark, so most of what you can see is from the light spilling out of the back windows of her house.
This other house, does it look dark? Like lights off?
There are some lights on. Make me an investigation.
Ooh. No. One.
It does appear to be occupied. There's like a silhouette working in what's probably the kitchen. But the party you saw would have taken time and effort to like clean up and relocate.
Yeah, that's kind of the worry.
Are you okay?
Well, you remember the last time we went into a place and things didn't seem exactly quite right?
I recall, yes. Several times, actually.
Yes. So there was a party here not all that long ago. As you may notice, there's not anything here now.
Are... Well, maybe... Raven's gonna look around to see if there's any hint that there was ever anything here.
Wits and awareness. I'm going to give you a 1 die penalty for it being dark now.
Four.
On a 4? No.
Mm-hmm.
No sign of a party. No sign that this area has been used in the last 24 hours.
I don't see how there was any party here unless there was, well, maybe like the tavern.
There we
You
go.
recall. I'm sorry?
That's kind of what I was getting at.
But that required us to enter a door.
Sure, for that one. Not like that's the only way of getting in. Hell, it could have just been. I mean, could just been as simple as walking through a circle of mushrooms. Don't think that's what happened this time, but not like it's necessarily particularly complicated to get there.
It possible, but I don't see any circle of mushrooms. Could it be that you're just under a lot of stress, given where we are?
Is that a chance you want to take?
Not particularly, but... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, you guys are in this moment of indecision. Like, is there something here? Isn't there? Should we investigate? Shouldn't we? And it's at that point, very distinctly, from behind you in the house, you hear a gunshot. And that's where we'll go to break.
Thank you for watching The Great Game. If you enjoyed the story, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to follow more of our content. You can find all of our actual plays on our website at www.hollowedhavenstudios.com. Please consider supporting us on our Patreon at patreon.com/hollowedhavenstudios. Your support helps make stories like this possible.
And we're back.
All right. Raven and Echo, you heard a gunshot coming from inside Sloan's house. Would you like to investigate?
Yeah.
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 Cool. Back down off this garden wall, across the little street, back up over that garden wall. We are going over the garden wall. Don't worry about it. Past the thickets, over a bush. Sure, that bush will be fine. In through the back door. Give me a wits and awareness check as you try to figure out where the shot came from. Looks like a 2 and a 2. Front sitting room.
Direction I'm
Immediately go to
running.
the living room. Yeah.
Yep. You rush around to see the following sight. Wyatt Earp, legendary lawman, is standing in the living room with his revolver trained on Maggie. He has just shot her and appears intent on doing again.
Where am I?
Sloan, you are also entering the room at this moment, having stepped away to get some
grab
tea
drinks.
and drinks ordered. Yeah, grab drinks. So you have a bottle in one hand and glasses in the other.
I am going to very quickly move in front of the gun. Uncle Wyatt, she's a guest. Put it down.
It's a goddamn vampire.
She is, and she is here to help us go after the people who killed my daddy.
He's pointing the gun around you. Like he very much does not want it pointed at you.
I'm going to keep moving to be in front of the gun every time he moves it.
Raven and Echo, anything you're going to do?
This is a family matter.
Cool.
She's here to help us deal with the poxers.
Okay.
As I said,
Give me a charisma plus persuasion check from Sloan. I'm going to give you an extra 2 dice for Raven, or Echo mentioning the poxers by name.
okay. That is 7 dice. Rerolling failures. 4 successes.
4 is good. 2 would not have been.
I know, that's why I rerolled it.
Good use of willpower.
What?
Uncle Wyatt, please.
Vampire.
I know it's not ideal, but she has been incredibly helpful. We would not have gotten the information that we have on them or have next steps in mind without her. And she has just as much of a bone to pick with them as we do.
He lowers the hammer, raises the gun towards the ceiling.
Please don't shoot my ceiling. Maggie,
Puts it away.
Maggie, are you all right?
Daddy would not have allowed this.
My daddy had an awful lot of things he did not bother to tell me about his life, so let's just say
I'm telling you this one. You wouldn't have never dealt with no fanger.
That was unkind.
Maggie is picking herself back up, and you probably haven't seen this before, but you watch the skin of her cheek knit back together, and perhaps more disturbingly, several teeth reappear.
Maggie, I apologize. I did not realize you would be up quite so early and did not have time to warn him.
I came here to be of use to you in your fight against the Poxers.
And I am sure that you...
I did not realize I would be treating with the likes of him.
Maggie, this is my adopted uncle. Uncle Wyatt, this is Maggie. As I said, she has been incredibly helpful. And she is a guest in my home, and I would appreciate it if you would treat her as such.
Right, and is he to be a guest in your home as well?
Well, he is my uncle, and I did not warn him, so I will take the blame on this one. If you want someone to be mad at me.
I have no desire to be angry with anyone. But if you expect me to sleep under the same roof as that, I think I shall excuse myself.
There's not going to be many places you can go where you aren't likely to run into one of them.
Go ahead and make another persuasion check to try and keep her here.
Does she think I'm pretty?
Not her type. Still applies.
Running out of willpower. 7 successes. That's a critical. That's more successes than I have dice.
You see two of your allies in conflict about to walk away. I think it occurs to you that if you, most if anything, you would promise her to stay, would make Wyatt want to leave, and vice versa. But you don't have to make promises. You don't have to get them to be happy with it. You just have to get them on board.
Listen. Let's all just sit down and have a calm conversation, and then we'll decide on next steps. If that means that somebody has to stay somewhere else, we will make arrangements. You don't have to be friends. Temporary allies is all I'm asking for from either of you. I will turn to my uncle. I will turn to my uncle Wyatt. Daddy was killed by a cult of disease-worshipping vampires who want to wipe out all life on Earth. We need all the help we can get.
He takes a seat on the couch.
And I will turn back to Maggie. Please. No one's got bigger stakes in this on a personal level than he and I. And I apologize for not giving him a full warning so that he did not react aggressively when he saw you. As I said, I did not think you would be up and in the room before I got here.
I'm going to find Snake. And she turns and walks away, which is certainly better than her just leaving.
Yeah. We'll let out a long sigh. Well, that was fun.
This may be an odd question. What can you tell me about the...
Go ahead.
What can you tell me about the house that's... And she'll kind of point in the direction that her and Raven just came from.
Shrug a little bit. The Jacobs? I don't know. They've lived there for about a year. Relatively quiet folks. I see them out and about in town. They've always seemed perfectly respectable.
Not the kind to have a party, especially not a very big one.
Well, I mean, everybody has parties now and then. That's just I've only ever seen them on special occasions. I think that I got invited to a, I don't know, engagement announcement dinner for their daughter earlier this year.
It was a subdued affair.
It was not the most lively affair, but they were polite and the food was good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we may have bigger problems then. Because I'm fairly certain subdued affair, not the kind of thing that I saw.
Well, I was just outside and I haven't seen or heard nothing, so...
Great.
Could you be more specific?
I was out walking through the garden, and I got away from something that reminded me of time's well passed, and I followed it. Followed it to your fence, and over the fence, I saw a bunch of people having a party is a polite term. You remember what we walked into on the island?
I do.
It was certainly closer to turning into something like that than what I'd be inclined to call a party.
All right.
And I'm fairly certain I saw my parents there.
Well, that's unexpected.
Or at least people that have quite a resemblance to them.
Is there any chance that all the stress of the past few days and the fatigue of constant travel for 5 might just be, and she'll kind of tap her head.
Ask you the same thing I asked Raven. Is that a risk you want to take?
I'm just trying to get a feel for the landscape. I'm not insulting anyone.
I will say, Sloan, if your neighbors back there had been on the beach and seen that orgy, they would certainly have simply dropped dead.
Everything I know about the Jensens, they would not have been accommodating of what happened on the beach. In fact, I'm pretty sure that Mrs. Jensen would have just had her heart go out on her.
Okay, right.
I'm sorry, what happened on the beach?
That's about the... There's, as I said, you've missed a lot. I ran towards the water when I was bleeding out, and these people who worked on a ship called the Empress of Japan.
No, I know about the ship. I'm sorry, where are my manners? He goes to Echo, and Raven takes his hat off.
Echo, Echo Raven, this is my Uncle Wyatt that I have spoken about.
Wyatt, pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Oh, and so we don't get another nasty surprise. Aylin is here.
His eyebrows disappear under his hairline.
I know. Apparently she was, well, they all knew each other when I stumbled into things. We all sort of, everybody sort of met back up on the ship. And, anyway, she's in one of her moods, so I don't think we'll be seeing her today. But she is upstairs, I assume, in whatever room Mrs. O'Leary has put her in. When were you going to tell me that Daddy was a vampire hunter?
Oh, well, glances the two of you when you have... It's like, okay, you know what a poxer is. Talking about this openly. Why don't we all have a seat?
Well, that was what I was trying to do before you shot one of my house guests. So, Sloan will grab another couple of glasses off of one of the sideboards in the room and pass them out, and everybody will get a couple fingers of whiskey. And then she will light a cigarette.
Yeah. Right.
Find that like now and that's like
So, yeah. Real Daddy took to the hunting of monsters. Oh, a few years before he met you. He'd come upon something. I don't know the details. He didn't like to talk about it. But he was motivated pretty early on, and as I understand it, he had some abilities that made him sharper than the average fellow in the law enforcement world. Certain fortunes seem to find him. Things seem to go correct when he needed them to really go correct. Over time, became more than there were other things that we had to fight, or other kinds of things. I don't know how much you know about your guest and her kind, but they sort of come in different types, different sorts of folk, different sorts of monster. And once he came out west, we met up. Mostly about fighting those that get in with animals. And a few others. The pretty ones. Names that sort of build things. One or two real ugly, nasty. Slack. But he was a man with only so much time. And he didn't want you. We disagreed on this, actually. He didn't want you to know. He didn't want you to, because he said once a fella knows, they can't unknow. There ain't no taking all this back. And if you can go through most of your life without ever being a part of this, it's a happier life.
And unfortunately, no one about this kind of thing tends to put a target on your back.
Exactly right. Because once you know, they start knowing that you know. And they can't have that. None of them.
Yes, well, it would seem that because of the enemies he made from knowing, I already had a target on my back anyway.
Yeah.
That's why they were at the birdcage.
I figured they were just hunting.
They were after me specifically.
I didn't figure that.
They took his
Your
guns.
daddy was very good at glances at your way.
Yeah.
But I got him back.
Good.
I saw him.
You. Like when they drained your blood and you were sort of close to the edge there?
Nope. First time was on the ship after I had mostly recovered. I played the vampire that took the guns so that I could get him back, and I won. Problem was then all hell broke loose because stuff that they were up to, and she will gesture vaguely at Raven and Echo because she's not entirely sure like who set off what chain of events, but chaos ensued. And then he went for one of the guns and I went for one of the guns, and we both got one of them, and I leveled my gun on him and I pulled the trigger and Daddy was right there. The bullet caught on fire and everything. He called him Benny. Said he looked like he'd seen a ghost.
Well, that sounds like him.
It did. Second time was that little jaunt with death I mentioned.
Right. You said you almost died.
No, I did die.
No, did die.
All the chaos on the ship had to do with it. A number of things, and one of them was, she points at Echo. She was in league with some sort of fairy princess, and they were still.
Right, that was after the werewolf.
I don't know what. Listen, I was already facing down a vampire. I don't remember the exact series of events and exactly what order they all happened in. What I know is that there was a werewolf and that Aylin and I helped kill it with fire. And that the fairy princess and you stole the ship, and then the fairy princess took us to the island of the Hesperides, which is where the Greek gods, grow the tree that has the golden apples that keeps the gods young. And we nearly died in the fight against the Hydra that was there. And I, assuming immortality apple, bit into it, thinking it would heal me at the very least, especially if it was only one bite. Turns out it killed me. And then I ended up in what I can only assume was the underworld, and there was Daddy.
Well.
Yes.
Well, damn.
And that was just the beginning of things. Ran into Harry again. Turns out he's a mage like Daddy was.
Mm-hmm. Jar Harry,
Houdini.
Harry Houdini.
Yes.
Ain't he always going on about how everybody else is a fraud and a trickster? And
yes. That's
most of the time he's right.
Well, that's don't that just beat all?
Unfortunately, the times that he's not so far have resulted in a serial killer and people trying to take over the government.
That's just what a government is. People trying to take over.
last we saw him, he was in Italy. Aylin, I don't know. She's mixed up in something. Got bloods and ghosts in her blood or something. Haven't quite figured out how that works.
Right. Have we actually told you the story about how all that happens?
I don't think I got a lot of specifics.
I'd love to hear it.
Would you like them? All right. So, about 2 years ago, myself, Raven, and Aylin were working for the British government as a specialist team to reacquire some things that had been stolen. As a part of that, we were sent over to America, where Aylin and I went to Chicago to... I believe we were chasing after something. And when we found it, unfortunately, it was in the hands of one H.H. Holmes, who you may be familiar with.
Heard of him. East Coast ne'er-do-well.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Raven here was asked back on some other business. So Aylin and I set about trying to take care of Mr. Holmes ourselves. Through a series of, I hesitate to even call them traps. Very well may have just been strange manifestations of whatever magic he'd been doing in the place. We managed to get through those. It did end with me stabbing Aylin because I was fighting myself and she was trying to wake me up while I was asleep. She got better.
No, as you do. Yeah. All right.
So we eventually found our way down into a laboratory of some kind where Holmes was working on something. So we had this chair connected to a bunch of tubes and pens that ended up to be filled with all of his victims. Turns out his plan was that he was going to take the power of all those ghosts, a lot of which, if not all of which, not entirely sure, were mages in their own rights, inject them into himself, and ascend to a new level of power. We stopped him, sort of. I severed his spinal cord. He stopped moving for a while, though he was getting better, unfortunately. And Aylin decided it'd be a brilliant idea to sit in this horrific death trap of a machine and inject ghost into her blood. Without knowing what it did. Or would do.
Well, I feel pretty confident saying that's one of the looniest stories I've ever heard. And I've been out here a while.
Didn't claim it was a reason story. It is unfortunately true, though.
And
Oh, no, I believe you.
I also got shot at by Nikola Tesla.
also,
Tesla, the inventor?
Also a mage.
All right.
anyway, now that she's got all of these ghosts in her blood, it would seem that she's got some amount of access to the magic that they had. Though I have more than once been spoken to by someone I'm pretty sure wasn't her in languages I know she doesn't speak. So my assumption is that they are casting through her.
That's my understanding as well, yes.
And it's killing her. Wild perfume she has seems to be tethered to something from the underworld. I accidentally spritzed myself in the face with it, and suddenly I could see it. And then it was there in front of me. She rubs at her neck, which still has, like, dark, or, like, not dark, but, like, the shadows of
The bruises.
The bruises from where it lifted her. We found out that there's a bunch of mages who are part of the government or trying to take over the government or something, who are after Harry Houdini and nearly killed him, and raiding the homes of a bunch of mages in New York under the auspices of tracking down art. What do you call it when you make something fake?
Forgery.
Art forgers. And they had inadvertently, unknowingly stolen a very powerful evil book. And so we had to run a little bit of a heist to get that back. But we did. It's back, and it is, safer than it was. Now that they don't have it anymore. And that's got some sort of weird spirit entity thing tied to it. And while we were there, we found information on the Poxers. And that, some of the notes that we found, is how I found out that Daddy is they call him the dentist, or was the dentist.
At this point, Wyatt has lit his pipe and is just listening, sort of enraptured. Well, dentist.
That is what the vampires called it, anyway. And I insisted.
On account of his pulling teeth.
Yes. Apparently he takes their fangs before he kills them, and they take that amount personal. Apparently taking the fangs is more personal than just killing them. And because he was doing all that, that's why the Poxers gave him the tuberculosis. And why he couldn't get rid of it even though he had magic.
They, So they did it to him.
They did. Made sure that he'd die. And she looks probably the closest thing to livid he has ever seen. He has seen her at her worst moments, but she usually looks either eerily calm or fucking broken. She looks livid. Like she could go outside and murder somebody in the street right now and would not hesitate. I insisted we come back. I had to make sure that my home was safe, my people were safe, but also Daddy's library is here.
Yep.
And I'm gonna take a wild guess and assume that part of why you visit so often is because it gave you access.
Yep.
Well,
Damn useful.
I won't complain about feeling a little bit used because I got to see you more often, and it's been good for me. So,
Yeah. Well, if you'll pardon my language, ma'am, it's a hell of a story. You've been through a good sight more creatures in chaos than most folk in their life, and it's only been a couple of weeks. Given what you've said, it sounds like you are your time or new life of adventures may be reaching a middle.
maybe.
If that.
Maybe. Oh, there's a chance Harry Houdini and his friend Angelo might show up. Please don't shoot them. Mages have a tendency to just pop up unexpectedly.
Right.
Those are the only the only other non-humans I'm aware of.
You sure? I feel like there's others not far.
I will glance between Echo and Raven, but I won't say anything. My understanding is there has always been a lot more here going on than I ever realized. I'm kicking myself for being so fucking blind to it. Pardon my language.
Can't help but shake the feeling that there might be some sort of fairy situation happening nearby, but can't say for certain, so.
Well.
Oh yes, if we get the opportunity, the intention is to kill the fairy princess if we ever see her again.
Oh, yes, entirely.
Hands down.
Best of luck with that. I can't say I've tangled with many princesses or fairies. There's a couple of creatures I done run across, but more in the vein of talking to than fighting with.
Combination, unfortunately, does make them somehow more insufferable than either of their parts would make you expect. That might just be her, though.
Yeah. You ever meet a fella can't stop being the way he is?
Yes.
Yes.
That's sort of how I found some of these folk you're talking about. It's like Like, you're here to be annoying and no amount of me slapping you is going to change that. So you don't bother?
It's this little amused smile, but says nothing, just nods.
I'm familiar with the type, yes.
Might be one of them under this roof, really. Or a couple, now that I think about it.
One of them tends to cause more problems than the other, though.
Significantly.
I've only known one of them a few days, and
I'm sorry, what are we talking about?
Aylin was one of the people we were talking about, I would assume. Can't stop being what she is. And the other one is a friend of the lady vampire you shot. He's human, though.
Right.
A friend of mine, current, what's the word you'd use for
Associate?
I'd use not our business.
Not currently our business, yes.
So, I mean, it sounds like you've got a handle on most of this better than I do.
Handle is a strong word, but at least
sounds like you've encountered more of it.
There has been a fair bit.
Now, I'm not going to sell myself short. I put maybe 30 her kind in the ground or up to the sun. But not a lot else.
Did you get away? Last time I saw you, you were surrounded by dog things and everything was on fire and you were dreadfully outnumbered.
Well, I had the shotgun there.
Uncle Wyatt, there's a limited number of shots in those.
Yep, and I used them very well.
She'll just sort of shake her head. She's got this look that's like half admiration and half just bewilderment.
Mm-hmm. You want to see if he's
yes.
tall-tailing himself a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and roll insight.
It's 8. And I'm okay if I fail this. He is her Uncle Wyatt. She'd believe anything. 4 successes.
Yep. Yeah, he's talking himself up a little bit, but no more than you would in his shoes.
I was sending messages to the farm. Did you?
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Oh, good. I didn't send one saying I was coming home, but
well, I figure you're in New York. I know how long it takes to get from here to there, and I know you weren't going to stay there, so.
That is fair.
Logical leap worth making.
Uncle Virgil, okay.
You know, he's doing.
She'll nod.
I'm going to go see if there are any messages for me.
Oh, and she will pull out the messages that came from her pocket.
Save me the trouble.
And she will hand echo hers and then look at Raven. This is for your friend.
Thank you. I should deliver this immediately. And no, go ahead.
Yeah. No, a moment later, Drusilla is like in the room working on the decoding of a missive from Price.
So what's the word?
She passes you another. Looks like there's actually 2 messages here. The first is from Price, saying he's having sudden resistance at work and having trouble staying ahead of the investigation. Like, for whatever reason, trust in him has been lost. The second is that he passes along information from Victor, saying that the meeting of wolves is being scheduled and requesting. When he says everyone's presence, he's probably meaning you, Lyra, and Drew should join him, but also the whole group sometime in the next month or 2.
Damn it. That's gonna be... Does he say where it is?
Germany.
Well, that's... We have a destination, at least. We have to figure out what's going on with Aylin.
We have a number of destinations. We know that the Poxes are working on gaining a foothold here on the West Coast. We know that they have a foothold up in New York.
Real quick, Echo, your letter.
Yes.
Your crew is ecstatic to find that you are okay. They were horrified when the Empress of Japan vanished into a massive swell and did not resurface in any way, shape, or form. They repeatedly ask if Elminor is with you and okay.
Mm-hmm.
But express their desire to return post haste and will be here in a couple of days. Yeah. Intel. Proceed.
All right.
You have letters, you have libraries, you have Uncle Wyatt who's willing to chat. You have Maggie who can tell you some stuff. What's the play, gang?
Uncle Wyatt, what do you know about the Poxes?
I know I know they're vampires. I know they're up to no good. I know we ran across them a couple of times. Seems like Doc got lucky, sorta, in that they were the first group he ran up against. And then he sorta, he just kept picking a bone with them. Just kept picking the same fight over and over and over again until they got pissed. Honestly, I thought we'd put him back all the way. Maybe I underestimated. If I'd known they were still gunning, I would have told you.
She nods. I know. I think Daddy would have done the same if he'd known. He was, apologetic.
Yeah, because you talked to him.
I did.
He shakes his head. Not disbelieving, but definitely like
On the bright
confused
side.
and maybe a little awestruck.
On the bright side, turns out we don't look so bad when we're dead. He looked, healthier than he ever did when I knew him.
Yeah, well, he would, wouldn't he?
She smiles.
Yeah, I know who. I expect they've been running a couple of snake oil deals up in Oregon.
It does seem to be their way. They put what they promise are cures out into the world, and it turns out that they're the things that make people sick. She will go and grab the files and then bring them back of all of the stuff that we decoded and the notes that we found, and set them in front of him.
He pulls out a pair of spectacles and starts to read. It'll take him a little while.
Now, where do we want to start with research? And she'll look at the other two. I have a whole library.
Well, let's see. I think the easiest thing to deal with would be the boxers.
At least they're local outreach, yeah, I would assume. But you did say there's a chance we've got fairies living right next door, so we might want to look into that.
Yes.
And there's also the issue with Aylin. We're not going to be able to get anywhere quickly with her in her condition.
She's gonna need a day or two, so we've got time to kill before she's gonna be up for traveling.
Oh, agreed. I meant something more akin to researching the perfume, at least.
Speaking of getting around quickly, the full moon passed while you were on the train. You have 27 days until you can use the scroll.
Yep. Well, I will look into how long it'll take us to get from here to Germany tomorrow. Everything's closed, so there's no one for me to go talk to.
Well, that meeting won't be for at least a month, so
yeah,
it's possible that
we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go by ship, or we just trust that we can get the scroll to work. No one's figured out how. I just know it only works on the full moon.
True.
And my memory of the last time that scroll was used is several of us nearly drowned, so...
True.
Yeah.
But I do believe Aylin did investigate and figured out how to make it work, at least.
I was under the impression out of character that all we figured out was that she would probably need her mage tag along to do it, and that he would need more time. He would need more time to figure out specifics.
No, you have a loose ritual. It mostly involves you all holding hands and chanting a phrase and then pointing to a spot. The challenge was more fingers equals less precise spot. So you might come down, depending on the spot you pick and
several
what
hundred miles
you have
away
when you arrive. Yeah, it could be, we are, 2 days away across open desert. Like, you certainly couldn't use this to land on a ship at sea.
Right.
But we could land in the country.
Yes, you can pretty consistently hit a country. Probably a state.
Well,
other than Rhode Island.
we will have to travel with a lot of cash and hope that we have somewhere we can convert it. Aren't you all lucky you fell in with somebody who has money? She will stand up and start heading towards the library.
Luck is certainly one way to put it.
And it certainly doesn't hurt.
Right. I think because there's a potential that we have fairies next door, we should probably start there. See what the library can give us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, on that note, Raven's going to also investigate the gem from Elminor that she still has.
Oh, shit.
I was wondering if that would come up again.
We have so much to look into, you guys. We have that.
Yeah.
We have the fucking book with the tyrant in it, which we should really figure out what the fuck that is and how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
We have the goddamn perfume. The problem is that it, like, system-wise, I'm only supposed to be able to look up one thing a day.
Yeah, but you can all roll like a occult or investigation to do something about something.
Sure.
The library just gives you a specific mechanic for a bunch of something about something.
Mm.
If one of you says, I'm going to go investigate the tyrant, and then makes a roll, something's going to happen.
I don't like that you phrased it that way.
I don't like that.
That was a very intentional choice of words. I don't know what you guys are worried about.
Here's the better way to put it. My understanding is that I'm the only one who gets the use of the perks. So we have to pick what we want me to look into because I get all the bonus stuff.
True.
That is true. Would
like
you
fairy.
take the group's fair and valid? I'm asking if Sloan would take the group's opinion on looking into fairy stuff, or if you are driven by revenge and you need to know how many vampires you can kill.
So normally the answer would be the second one, except that the fairies are supposedly right next door, which puts all of the people that I love at risk.
So you're more motivated by love than vengeance?
I mean, the vengeance is born out of love.
Yeah, but I'm just figuring out where your priorities are.
I'm trying not to add another person I have to avenge to the list. And if when we leave, all of my hapless human friends are still going to be here, which is a concern for me.
Copy that. Sloan is sort of vengeful.
No, she's very vengeful. But you can be more than one thing at a time.
She's not blinded by it.
Correct.
Oh, we'll get there.
I don't like that.
Researching the Fae.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
Okay.
And then we're also going to figure out what Echo and Raven are working on.
Since Uncle Wyatt is here, could he help me to give me extra dice?
I'm going to say that the first time he is helping you is simply him explaining how things work. In the future, he might provide extra dice, but right now he is providing.
Okay, I'm going to have...
No, I rescind that. I'm going to give you an extra 2.
Okay, I was just like... I was like, okay, this is not my best die pool. It's
2,
not one of my awful, but...
You can definitely use your desperation for this.
Desperation, okay. Seven successes on 10 dice.
Hot damn.
Sloan's luck is back. Clara's not here to steal it now. Clara borrowed it last session. I've gotten it back.
All right.
So mechanically, The storyteller decides on the nature. A hunter spends roughly a day researching their prey and can make an edge test. A win provides a clue into the nature or behavior of the type of creature, or even this specific prey. The storyteller decides on the nature of the clue, how vague it is, but the result should scale with the margin on the win. A greater margin equals more information, more accurate information, etc. No more than one attempt can be made for each scene, and once successful, the edge cannot be used again until the next session. I do have who they are, where they hide, and how to harm them. I do not have how to halt them yet.
Okay.
And those all work basically the same way. It's you get in addition to the clue gained, the information yields a bonus equal to the margin on the win to any attempt to locate their lair, figure out who they are, and how to fix them. Right.
And you have passed this by a margin of 3?
Okay, so I get yields a bonus equal to the margin on the win to any attempt to blah 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 blah. So on the how to harm them for one roll, one of us will get an additional 3
plus
dice.
3. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah, there's some stuff here.
Good. Thanks, Dad.
The section on let's see. Trying to figure out why Doc Holliday would have a bunch of stuff about fairies.
Because he's a fucking mage and they interact with everything. And fairies specifically have connections to other worlds, which is a very distinctly mage thing to be into.
I think a lot of this is more his notes and what appears to be several attempts to write a book. Not quite a guide and not quite a My Adventures in Fairyland. He seems to have been undecided on the direction, which is why most of what you have is pages. But among them are documented a couple of specific points. They're get a rough understanding of how they interact with mortals in the inhabiting, sharing, occupying. He initially compared them to ghosts in that they need something to latch on to. Compared them to vampires in that they need something to feed off of.
So it's clear from his notes that they feed off of dream stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
And what type of dream stuff seems to... That's a way in which they are vastly different than vampires. All vampires need blood, pure and simple. A way to harm a fae is to deny it its preferred form of
dream stuff.
Yeah. I actually don't think he calls out dream stuff specifically. They feed off of a specific type of person.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like if you encounter a fairy who hangs out with a specific type of people, remove them from that type of person, and they will become desperate and manipulatable.
Okay.
Then you can gain the upper hand and an advantageous deal, and you win. He also notes that killing them has no real purpose. You are better off finding a way to exploit their abilities and connections.
Is that because he doesn't seem to think that it's often that they end up hurting people?
Yeah, they are not as openly malicious.
Okay.
His writing here alludes to something you'll find out later. He just really fucking hates vampires.
I mean, that was kind of obvious.
He just really hates them. He's like, all this other stuff is kind of doing whatever. Fuck vampires.
Yeah, that's fair. They deserve it.
Yeah. In terms of where they go, here things get a little heady. Because there are descriptions of, or discussions and possibly intoxicated musings on slipping between realities, on parallel worlds, on keeps and holds that are like a bubble floating through ether that occasionally bumps into the bubble that is ours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to call for an investigation on Echo's part as you guys are talking about this.
Okay, so what am I rolling?
Intelligence and investigation. I'm going to give you those extra 3 dice. This doesn't necessarily expend them, but it is reflective of what you have learned.
4.
On 4 successes, you felt Elminor's presence, or the presence of something fey, and when you reached out to it, you saw through the membrane between those 2 bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
You glimpsed a world that was there, and may or may not be there now, although it certainly doesn't feel the same. Also, what you saw in that world may have been a literal reality, or they operate in sort of a dream space. You may have been literally projecting, or projecting into the literal. You may have been making metaphors literal and literally seen a metaphor.
Got it. Mm-hmm. I see.
If that was clear to you, I did it wrong. But the part about the Fae being across the yard, they might have been then. Maybe if you got in some kind of trance again, you could try to see if the bubble is still there.
Well, good news, bad news. Both the good news and the bad news are they might not be there anymore.
Well, that sounds like good news to me. Everything I can find in Daddy's notes suggests that they're not generally malicious. They don't generally try and hurt people. And if anything, it's not really worth the time to hunt most of them.
So I got hunted by them a while ago.
You got hunted by one of them. And her
No, I got
body?
hunted by... Yes.
And didn't you say that she sort of got kicked out of her little kingdom or whatever because of her behavior?
Yes, but it wasn't for the hunting. It was for the scheming against her parents.
One would assume.
Our parents didn't really care about the hunting as far as I'm aware.
Do you ever meet them?
Not that we're aware of.
So that's a no. What you know is, and don't get me wrong, I agree she's a bitch and it would be good for us to deal with her. My point being, we don't really know why she got kicked out. We assume it was just because of her plotting. We have no idea their feelings or thoughts on the matter. Everything in these books suggests that it does not behoove them to hurt most mortals. which would suggest that that was out of character for most of them. You also mentioned, I think, that an awful lot of time passed the last time you went into a space like that.
Oh, significantly. I was 3 years?
So we might want to be careful. I'm not saying we don't do nothing about it, but if it isn't there anymore, we do have a laundry list of other things to deal with. Some of them we know are actively trying to destroy the world.
Speaking of which, y'all want to look at that book?
The Tyrant?
I just thought it would slip into the sentence well. The last thing you learn from the library regarding the Fae that all of you can use, cold forged iron. Very helpful. They do not like it. I think that's the canon, right?
Cold iron, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, other than isolate them so that they starve. Cold iron is a good way to do that. And, do be more cautious of the ones who surround themselves with violent people, because they feed on violence and will therefore probably be better at doing it.
Right.
And if you encounter one like that, close their mouth and keep it that way.
Okay.
He does not go into why.
Okay. I'm open to going and having a look and seeing if we can find anything now that we have a better idea of how it works. I just think we ought to be careful, especially if they're not hurting anything. Because again, we have a laundry list of things to look into. We've got disease-worshipping vampires right here in California, potentially up in Oregon. We've got a book with some sort of entity that wants to, I don't know, destroy the world or rule over it or something based on the name. We've got some sort of entity that is attached to Aylin's perfume that nearly choked me to death. That we had to banish back to the underworld. We've got a meeting with werewolves, I guess. And don't y'all have like a list of people that still need to die because the queen said so?
2 people, yes. One, however, is in Paris. The other we're unsure of. I believe I put out the word, though, to my Jingxi contacts to see if they know about his location.
Well, I can tell you that going to Paris is not gonna be... It's not ideal. We should find a way to get him out of Paris if we can, instead of going to him.
At the mention of those assassinations, Drusilla looks up and signs out to you that might be why Price is having trouble.
Does Raven speak sign language now?
Now, yes.
Okay. I was just like, do I need to be translating?
I do assume it at this point.
She's been studying.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that might be why Price is having trouble. We didn't say yes.
We did not. And I don't think that they're going to assume that the one is already dead.
One dead man on a lost ship is a complicated thing.
Is there any way that we could get a message to her to say that we would, without alarming her to where our location is?
She makes a face. Message, yes. Location, maybe?
Let's hold off then on saying yes, at least for now.
If y'all are just worried about getting a message and her not knowing where it's coming from, it isn't hard to pay a little bit of money and have a message sent to one city to be sent on to another city.
The problem is that if word gets back to, I believe his name is Campbell, we would have to leave immediately.
Yes.
All right, I will trust your judgment then. It was just an offer.
Of course. My concern is that if someone traces the line back and meets us here, it would be a problem for you and your household.
Drusilla actually nods.
Well, I appreciate you thinking of my people. God knows we don't need any more problems.
All right, so I'm going to call for some check stuff out rolls from Raven and Echo on the list of things you have available to look into.
Yeah. I'll probably look into the boxers, since they're our next most pressing issue. Should have somebody looking into it.
Okay. You take the evening and start. What role would you like to make? What method are you trying to use? You can try to do a little bit of research, or you can hit the town and see who knows what.
Yeah, she'll probably start poking around in the town about weird disease outbreaks that have been happening, or I guess not weird, but outcroppings of diseases that have been popping up recently.
Who's getting sick and where?
Yep.
Okay. Streetwise. And, I want to say charisma.
All right.
And this is underbold stuff, so you can add your specialization.
Oh, yeah.
Your desperation.
I think I'm good on this. I'll just reroll failures. 6.
Nice. That is a good reroll. 6 hits. You learn a fair amount. First of all, it's not hard to find the people in dire straits who want to complain about how dire their straits are. It's very easy to get someone to talk about what's wrong in their life when they feel like everyone's against them. And those folk are usually pretty loud about it. However, they are useful sources of information.
Yes, they are.
There are a couple of places worth looking into. First of all, the Oregon tip. There is... Yeah, it looks like there are hot springs, which have been said to have medicinal properties. People go there when they're sick. Some get much better and absolutely swear by the place. Quite a few have become salesmen and advocates for them. Hey, you have a problem, go here. They'll fix it. They fixed me. Maybe a dozen cases of this fairly miraculous recovery. Just hale and hearty and out in the world again. There are also some people who go who either don't get better or don't come back. It's like, yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes it doesn't work. But those people, they went out happy in a good environment. Well taken care of. From what you know about vampires, I think it would strike you that a bunch of people coming back very enthusiastic about the place and maybe even healthier than they were before they got sick, that's suspicious in its own right.
Yep.
On 6, I think you also know that there have been a series of medicinal specialists, people with varying degrees of legitimacy in their medical degree, coming out of coming from not as far as Chicago, but sort of in that direction. Sort of other side of Montana, occasionally Wyoming.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Honest Midwestern types who, again, quite helpful to some people. Yeah, on 6 hits, I think the main thing is that you start nailing down the pattern. Some people get a lot better. Some people disappear. Depending on who you ask, looks a lot like treatment.
Mm-hmm. Good to know. Also, disgusting.
Also disgusting. 6 is very good. There's a couple of these guys in town.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah. A couple of these Midwestern fellows have set up a sort of clinic out in. Place used to be like a place that you could go between panning for gold. Shantytown sort of thing. It's been upgraded pretty significantly. Nothing falls down or burns down as much. Today we might call it a suburb.
All right, yeah. She's kind of taking all that information and not being stupid enough to go and do anything about it tonight.
All right. Raven.
I'm going to be researching Elminor's gem that she still has.
Absolutely. Thinking this is intelligence.
Okay.
And I will accept occult or investigation with very different results based on which you choose.
It'll be investigation and intelligence because I don't have any occult, which is weird.
Gotcha.
No. 2 success.
2 successes. You got this gem as a physical representation of a favor from Elminor. Now, a favor is pretty open-ended. But some of what Sloan is reading, and you poke in on a little bit of it, tells you that a favor among the Fae is a thing taken pretty seriously. They take their word pretty seriously. Whether Elminor holds to that, well, you'll only one way to find out. But in theory, this is a thing you can ask for something. If you ask for too much, it might come with a price. If you ask for too little, it could be seen as rude. It's kind of a trap, but it's a guaranteed conversation.
Well, at the very least, we have a way to get to her, at least. Though I'm not entirely sure how it works. Physical manifestation of the favor that she owes us. Or she's granted us.
Specifically.
Or granted me, yes.
Yeah. You bested her in the competition, you earned the favor. This is a pretty stone to anyone else.
I would definitely share that information.
Cool. The night drags on. You guys reconvene. Do you want to do more investigating, or do you want to call it and see about tomorrow?
Well, I'm not allowed to make another roll on the library, so...
You can make another roll just to look into stuff.
Okay.
Because we're just knocking out, poke it with a stick level investigation if you want.
Yeah. Can't use the library.
I'm not sure what other courses we have to look into other stuff, because most of our other problems are not local.
Yeah, potentially we call it a night, and then
You have the book, you have the apples, you have... Yeah, no, hard to look into German werewolves.
German werewolves, a book about a thing called the Tyrant. Like this is all stuff that is like the library would probably have information.
Right. I am saying if you would like to roll on the apples or the book, you may do so.
Okay. I mean, Sloan is reasonable about her. I'm not going to go off half cocked and like waste our overlook a potentially immediate threat. But now that she is reasonably certain that it's not quite as much of a threat as we thought, I think she wants to look into the apples because they took her to see her father.
Solid.
She's going to be selfish this time.
Intelligence plus investigation or occult. Unless you have some kind of lab, in which case you could use something scientific.
I do not
which
have
would provide
a
a very
lab.
different type of information.
Do not have a lab yet. Wasn't sure we were ever going to get back to my house this season, so I did not buy into a safe house yet. So that's 5. We're going to go into an investigation.
Yeah.
And I will use my desperation. That was 8 dice, but
Holy
9
crap.
successes. That's a critical.
Oh my god.
Hello, Sloan. Welcome back, baby.
Oh my god. You must stop.
No, I refuse.
You must stop.
I didn't even have to reroll for this one.
All right. You guys are all here for this.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I think everybody sees Sloan go in, not quite the like obsessed, messy way that Aylin does, but it becomes very, very clear that how Sloan got rich. When Sloan sets her mind to something and becomes focused, there is no stopping her.
I also think, just from a literal perspective, Echo is the one who is carrying the apples.
That's true.
So you guys gather. You rolled investigation?
Yeah, into investigation.
Okay. So some of this is the books. Because in addition to the frustrating lack of layout in Holliday's notes about the supernatural, there's also just a library here. There are books on mythology.
Mm-hmm. They're in all sorts of different languages.
Yes. And they confirm some of what you already know. These apples, theoretically, were a gift from Gaia, who technically not one of the Olympians. She's a lot more on the Titans end.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, other stories place her adversarial to them. Messy relationships.
Right.
But the apples specifically are said to be quite powerful and granted the gods I think part of what you find is that they did not grant immortality. They protected from death and granted great power. Like, some of these have been translated oddly, and some of them have been translated hardly at all.
Yeah, I mean, she does. I'm pretty sure she speaks ancient Greek. I'm pretty sure that's one of her languages.
I think one of the distinctions you find in this research is that these apples do not necessarily grant eternal life so much as they create a ward against death.
Okay, but it killed me.
Yes.
How
These apples are not for mortal consumption.
That's fair.
A mortal being who consumes one cannot die, but also will. Because they are, like a mortal being shown Zeus's true form, was disintegrated. That's in one of the legends.
Wild. Okay.
Or, a bunch of people running from, I believe it was Sodom, looked behind them and were turned to pillars of sand. There are certain elements of this that it's like, there are things that a mortal simply cannot be capable of. Or not without something else. On a 9?
Yeah, I mostly want to find out if there is anything in here that would suggest, like, what happens to a human who dies, goes to the underworld, and comes back because of an apple like that.
I mean, Greek mythology has several cases of people going to the underworld and coming back. In some of them, that individual is changed. In some of them, they only come back because they were different to begin with. Combining this ward against death with your experience moving to what, again, we're acting on the belief is the world of the dead. Probably what would have happened if you hadn't had somebody there on the other side. Probably what would have happened is if Doc hadn't been there, you would not have been safe or stable in the land of the dead, and something bad could have happened.
Okay.
And if Raven hadn't been there to pull you back, you might have just been there when whatever part of the apple was keeping you in death ended.
Interesting.
Yeah. On 9, here's what we're going to do. God damn it.
I'm sorry.
Making me invent fucking lore on the spot.
I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. I figured this was stuff
It's
that you
okay.
had figured out. I literally gave you forewarning I was going to bite the apple.
For sure. That part I knew.
I am also trying to dig into my theories about what's going on with Sloan, because she's obviously got some weird connections to the dead,
Yes.
more than just my dad died.
It's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
It's 2 a.m, and you were looking at this book depicting Tartarus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's talking about the living and the dead. Raven and Echo.
Wait, am I looking at a book on Tartarus, or am I looking at a book on Hades? Because Tartarus is like
Hades.
the bad place. Hades is just the general underworld.
I think you've got 6 or 7 tomes open in front of you.
Okay, so I've got stuff on all of it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Hades, Tartarus. Here's a chapter on biblical hell.
Sloan might look a little bit crazy. She's hyper focused and she's not messy, but she might look a little strung out.
Yeah. Echo and Raven, you guys are present? Were you going to be working on the same thing, or were you going to be working on something else? Or are you just hanging out? Or are you going to bed? What are you doing?
2 in the morning.
2 a.m.
Echo has gone to bed by this point.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You two, in an east-facing room on the 2nd level, Echo, you're passed out. Bad news, east does face the backyard.
Well, she specifically has a west-facing room. It's toward the water.
Yeah,
She
right,
wanted
okay,
to face
cool.
the ocean.
Sweet. I'm going to let that stand and not reverse this direction of the house for my own entertainment.
House just levitates 20 feet in here and rotates 180 degrees.
Saw a tornado do that one time.
Sloan is so hyper focused she doesn't even fucking notice.
Yeah. You guys are crashed out. Sloan, someone sits in the chair next to you. Yeah. That's a puzzler, ain't it? Real head scratcher. How are you dead but not dead? How'd you go and come back?
I am going to very slowly look up and over.
Distracted from your hyperfocus. Doc is sitting next to you, looking over the books.
Eddie.
Hey, kiddo. How you doing?
Well, better than I was a few minutes ago.
Made it back to the house. That's not nothing.
Been a few places, really.
Yeah, it's been a while.
New York and Greece and Italy, and now I'm home.
I know. You're looking in the right place. Puts a hand on the books.
Am I asking the wrong questions?
I'll just say, you don't belong there. Not yet. I expect it's crossed your mind, but no. You belong here.
Why does it seem so easy for me to connect to it when it hasn't happened for others?
Well,
Aylin puts on that perfume every damn day, and as far as I'm aware, she's never seen the dead. But I get hit with it once, and I'm looking out over a landscape.
She sees them a fair bit.
You know what I mean. She doesn't see that place.
No, but she talks to it.
In the time that I knew her, she'd never spoken to one, not for real.
Well, things are changing. Over there. Mind you, they're changing here too.
Yes.
I'm sorry I dragged you into this.
You didn't. People who couldn't accept that they'd won did. That's fine. Spent most of my life winning against people who didn't think I could, so this is just one more step. Different kind of game, but
Yeah, maybe.
These things will find that I'm uniquely stubborn and hard to beat.
Yeah, they found that once before. Careful what you eat. Who you're close to.
She'll nod a little bit.
These, he reaches out and holds his hand over the apple. Give me an insight check.
Okay. Girls, I'm sorry, I'm doing it again. I know I shouldn't keep risking it, but I'm going to.
No, do it.
This is so important to her.
Do it. Reach.
I just have to double check. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with 3. She's so emotional, I don't think she would think to try and read him too hard.
All right. He holds his hand over the apple. Doesn't pick it up.
Could that help you?
I don't think so. I think I'm, well, not from here anyways. Sloan, I'm not sorry that I dragged you into a world full of monsters. I'm sorry that I dragged you into my business. Now, you finding these apples is a stroke of luck I cannot quite comprehend.
Was these a stroke of luck? We nearly died getting them, and they seem useless to us.
But you didn't die.
I got very lucky that I was standing next to a Valkyrie when I bit it.
Yes, you did. It is my earnest hope that luck remains on your side. For the moment, I would not eat one of those again.
I don't intend to.
Not until you can, I don't even know what. Don't know how you would.
Find a way to make it safe.
But I told you, if you and yours ever cross over, you come find me.
You know I would. Sometimes when something bad is happening, I swear I can smell you.
The dirt and the sweat. Gives a little smile.
Cigarette smoke.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's like you're standing right there, and if I could just reach out. I don't understand. This is all very overwhelming.
I didn't want to go, you know.
I know.
I acted like I was embracing the inevitable, but I fought it.
I know.
Every day, every step of the way.
I remember waking up in the middle of the night sometimes and you being surrounded by books. And I always just thought it was because you love to read.
Well, I did love to read.
Yeah,
But yeah, it weren't just that.
Are you okay over there? You kept talking about.
Ain't no way I can answer that question. Don't break both our hearts.
I miss you.
I miss you too. He's gonna try and hug you. I'd like you to roll straight willpower.
Just my total?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think you can willpower roll, so he cannot touch you.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
It would put her at 0 willpower, but she'd fucking do it if she could.
You kid. And I'm sorry. And I wish I could say it's all going to be okay, but I'm smack dab in the middle of finding out if that's true. And it don't look good.
She'll nod a little bit. If anyone can find a way through it, it's you. I do need to know one thing while you're here, and it's fine if you don't have an answer for me. We encountered something that I think has ties to that place because Raven managed to push it back. It's tied to Aylin's perfume. It and she'll describe like what it looked like. The fact that like we couldn't see a face, but it was kind of spindly and tall, but also seemed to like, despite how thin it was, seemed to take up the whole train car. You got any idea what that is or who?
I'm going to have you roll 6 dice.
Okay.
For what he knows.
Okay. Two.
2 successes.
Yeah.
Sounds like you ran afoul of a baron.
What's that?
You ever remember those little towns we used to go through where the mayor was in charge of everything and folks ran scared when he came out the door?
Yeah. I remember.
He nods.
Like that, but for down there.
That exactly.
He gave Aylin that damn perfume she was always wearing. And the second I had my hands on it, he was pissed. She'll rub at those marks on her neck again. I shot him. Raven forced him back into the underworld, but I don't know why he's so hell-bent on her. I know it's got something to do with Paris, because she was on her way from Paris when she found the damn perfume, but...
I'll just say what... Can I get a wits and awareness -2 from all three of you?
Okay.
All three of us.
Yep.
Does my desperation count?
Yes.
I got a 0 because I'm asleep.
I got 2, even though I'm asleep.
I am...
God damn it, Porcelain.
I know, I'm overreaching. I got 3.
Cool, we're back to danger 8.
Is it 8 or 7? You went back to 6 at the beginning of the session. I think this is our
There's
first
2
overreach.
ones.
That's 2
Oh,
ones.
there's 2 ones. Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Sorry.
Do not apologize for the dice tale that is being told.
Echo. You, in your bed, now 2:33 in the morning, your hand is pulling a knife before your brain fully turns on. Something is very, very wrong. Someone is coming into the house. Several someones are sneaking into the house. Whatever thief instinct, flow of air detection, you know. You feel it. Sloan, you're looking at your father's face, and as it flickers just a touch, he's starting to lose his corporeal form, having apparently been here too long. In the translucence, you see behind him a figure raising a shotgun through the window, pointed at the back of his head in the front of yours. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh, fuck.
Thank you for listening to The Great Game, a Hunter the Reckoning actual play by Hallowed Haven Studios. Storytelling for this actual play is provided by Overthinker, Aylin by Clara, Echo by Termite, Raven by Freyja. Our intro music is by Franceso de Andrea. Our art is by Poyjee. Editing by Virens.